Hannah Storm.
Hey everybody, PTI back in moments to debate whether they are more impressed with the Eagles or disappointed with the Chiefs, and the chief question for Kansas City this offseason after the brutal defeat, which I guess you could look at it that way or you could look at it another way.
Fantastic win. Plus Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts will join us to talk about that fantastic win from Disney World, fresh off the Tron roller coaster. But first, buckle up for the football coach after throwing for 221 yards and 3 total touchdowns. Outplayed Mahomes in both Super Bowl games. 40-22 the final. Hurts becoming the 5th player in Super Bowl history with multiple passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in a single game. Hurts, Mahomes, Montana on this list all won Super Bowl MVP in the game. And we're pleased to welcome in Super Bowl champ and Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts from Disney World. Jalen, you mentioned you were processing things last night. So after a night of celebrating and that Disney World experience, where are you in the process stage on what happened in New Orleans just 24 hours ago?
Man, I think about all the hard work, all the effort put in, just to have this moment and have that moment. And honestly, you don't really reflect on those things until you spend time with your teammates and been in that locker room with the guys, knowing that 364 days of the year, I always see it as a pursuit of working just for one moment. And that's that moment of hosting that trophy and spending that time with your teammates and just enjoying that moment. So it was fun.
Jalen, you're going to hear that Eagles chant for the rest of your life, no matter what. Whether somebody's saying it or not, it's just going to be ingrained there. And after the game, there's a really cool moment where you are sitting down with a Lombardi trophy, smoking a cigar. What's going through your mind there?
I describe those as happy feelings. A long journey and a lot of work, a lot of effort put in, a lot of joys and pains and highs and lows, and just good old happy feelings.
After the loss to the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57, your screensaver heading into the 2023 season was you and that red confetti. After you lost that game, you mentioned that you either win or you learn from that. You have also said that you hate losing more than the joy of winning. So how does yesterday's win compare to the loss from 2 years ago?
You remember the losses before you remember anything. They fuel you. I'll be able to reflect on all of those moments, good, bad, or indifferent, but anytime you set a goal to go achieve something, you come up short, it sticks with you. And so I'll be able to use all these different moments to push me moving forward.
And we saw you smiling on the primetime set after the game with Boomer, Booger, and Alex Smith. And when they brought out that birthday cake for Saquon and Cooper DeJean, your teammates, what was it like to have number 26 in the huddle with you this season?
It's been a blast. It's been a blast. I think not only just the player, but the leader. His ability speaks for itself, but I think it's, he added a different component to us. I think that helped us get over that hump this year.
Let's celebrate your defense. How would you describe what you saw from that unit last night against Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense?
Offense wins games, the defense wins championships. And that was a perfect example of that. The way they played, they would have turned the ball over, and they played really a dominant ball, affecting the passer, affecting the quarterback with just 4 rushers, and everything they were able to do. They've been a hungry group, man. They've been a hungry group. I couldn't be more proud of them and how they stepped up to the challenge.
Jalen, the final 17 games, you guys go 16-1, and that one loss was the Commanders game where you were knocked out with a concussion. The Eagles set a playoff record with the most points scored historically. How should we all remember this team?
Every team is different. Simply put, we worked our tail off to be remembered as champions. That's something no one can ever take away from us.
All right. How many cigars have you smoked in the last 18 hours?
A couple.
And more to come, too. Philly's been partying. You know that city since halftime when you guys were up 24-0. That party's going to last all week heading into Friday's parade. I'm sure you've heard what 2018 was like, and you've seen the video of your guy Jason Kelsey as well as all the guys on the floats. Are you ready for that scene going down Broad Street on Friday?
Well, I know how it is when we go, when we win the NFC Championship, and I know they're excited, but I'm really excited for this one. It's been something that we earned, and the city's earned it. All the support that we've had over the years, and to be able to bring it home to Philly where it belongs. Can't wait for it.
We got video on the Tron ride. What was that like?
Let me see it. You gonna show it to me?
No, you're looking all right. Don't worry. We didn't catch you on one of those cameras where your face is all over and you're like scared. No, you look like you handled it.
I had a lot of anticipation on that one, so I was expecting the twists and turns and all that, but it was fun. It was fun.
Well, it wasn't a roller coaster season, especially considering how smooth yesterday you made it look. Congratulations to you. Thanks for joining us here on SportsCenter. Let's hope you can enjoy the rest of the week as well as the parade.
Thank you.
NFL analyst Marcus Spears joins us now. Swagger, that was just typical Jalen Hurts, right? So cool, even keeled. What impressed you about his performance in the Super Bowl?
And it's funny, coming off that interview, his poise. He understood everything seemingly that this defense was going to throw at him. He was phenomenal with his arms and also his legs. I thought he played a complete game, and cerebrally, obvious guys that can think the game at a very high level. But more importantly, pushing the ball downfield. I thought of Jalen Hurts from Alabama when everybody talked about he wouldn't take the necessary chances to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. Can he really throw? Is he more of an athlete than a quarterback? Well, last night, everything was on full display. Two things can be true is one of my favorite sayings. It can be true that he can beat you with his arm, and it can be true that he can beat you with his legs, and he did that to Kansas City last night. Timely third down pickups, understanding how to get in and out of the pocket, understanding when to go get yards with his legs. When he saw the open receiver, he ripped it. When it was a play call opportunity for a shot, he let the football go and trusted that his guys would make plays. It was a masterful performance, symbolic of what he did the first time in the Super Bowl. Outside of that fumble and the recovery for a touchdown, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes now twice in Super Bowls. But last night, to me, was about poise, was about control, was about I'm playing the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I'm not playing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And he took full advantage of what they were trying to do to deter him from being a Super Bowl champion. And they could not stop him from getting it this time.
Yeah, as they were able to contain Saquon, it was on his shoulders. He delivered MVP. Good point about the last Super Bowl. Even though they didn't win, he was terrific. All right, on the other side, let's talk about the Chiefs. One of their worst offensive performances in Patrick Mahomes' career in the first half last night. Mahomes threw 2 picks, completed less than half of his passes. The Chiefs had only 23 total yards and recorded just a single.
Hey, y'all, grab a cold one and let's talk football. The Super Bowl this year? Yeah, it wasn't quite what everyone expected. The Kansas City Chiefs? They just couldn't get it going. Not against those Philadelphia Eagles anyway. Those Eagles were like a swarm of bees. And Patrick Mahomes? Well, he felt every sting. Now, don't get me wrong, Mahomes is a warrior, but the Eagles, man, they were a whole other beast. They got to him 6 times, sacking him and hitting him like they had something to prove. That secondary was locked down. You didn't even see a glimmer of hope for a deep strike. The Chiefs' offense, which usually thrives on those long shots, got smothered. Mahomes, being the stand-up guy he is, owned up to it. Yeah, they played great, he said, and he ain't lying. The defensive line was on fire, and those DBs, they were glued to the Chiefs' wide receivers like they were attached by some invisible rope. But Mahomes didn't mince words when he talked about his own mistakes either. 3 turnovers in a game like this? You can't have that and expect to walk away with a win. He threw a pick-6 to Cooper DeJean, and let me tell you, that kid made a play. Mahomes tried to squeeze one in, and DeJean said, "No, sir, not today." And then there was that second interception. He was trying to hit Hollywood Brown, but that ball sailed. It happens, but against a defense like Philly's, you just can't afford those mistakes. Mahomes himself said it, "I can't make bad plays worse." And you know what? He's right. Sometimes you got to take the check down, throw it away, and live to fight another down. But when you're the star, the pressure's on you to make a play. That's the fine line Mahomes walks. But what does this mean for the Chiefs going forward? Well, the Eagles just showed the NFL how to handle Mahomes. If you've got the secondary and the front line like they do, you might just have the blueprint to beat the Chiefs. And honestly, it feels a little like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win in Super Bowl LV. The Eagles modernized it, made it their own. It'll be real interesting to see how the Chiefs adapt in 2025. They'll need to get creative with their offensive schemes, maybe lean more on that vertical rushing attack to keep defenses honest. Look, the Chiefs aren't down and out by any means, but they've got work to do. The NFL is a chess game, and right now Philly's sitting in check. It'll be a wild ride seeing how Kansas City plans to shift gears. Now, here's the question I'm itching to ask y'all. What do you think the Chiefs need to do to bounce back in 2025? Is it all about adjusting the offense, or is it time for a complete overhaul of the strategy? Drop your thoughts below.